How's it going, everybody? Jump here. Today I'm gonna be going over what I think is gonna be the best DPS hunter spec going into 9.2 in the raid. So obviously, I think we have the big three. We have BM, we have Marks, and we have Survival. So today I'm gonna go over which one I think will be the best hunter spec going into 9.2. That's including the tier sets too. So let's get on with the video. So now we have the big three, obviously, with BM, Marksman, and Survival. So what I think is going to be the best DPS spec. Well, obviously, you got to take a lot of things into consideration. First, the bosses. There's some single target bosses. There's some AoE cleave multi-target bosses that that we're gonna have to also deal with, and there's also mechanics. So when you consider all that, so we're also going to get our tier sets and our double legendary down the road. So with that in mind, I think marksman hunters are going to be the best in 9.2. It's it's hard to put a melee, especially survival, in the top tier or the best hunter spec between marksman and BM because it's practically it's damn near impossible when you have to consider the mechanics and dodging shit, and you there's just multiple stuff that can happen, and marksman is clearly a range spec, and they can also do mechanics as well. They don't need to be up close to the boss, and they're good at AoE cleave, and they're also decent at single target. And BM, they're just only good at single target. Their beast cleave is decent, it's okay, but it's not the best. It's the worst between marksman and survival. the Literally their tier set is only beneficial for a single target. So if it's not a single target boss, they're gonna struggle. And there's only like two that I can think of off the top of my head right now that are single target BM special fights. We don't know the last remaining bosses. Blizzard's been time getting those bosses. So I think MM is definitely the way to go. It's definitely I think with the tier sets and the double legendary, marksman is going to be once again the top of the charts. Now please hear me out. That's not I'm not going to sit here and say that a BM or survival can't catch a bad or a decent marksman hunter in this raid. Like they can obviously do more damage if they play the class well. But if you're talking about a great and a well played marksman hunter, you can't do much about it. You can't do much about it. The game's favor Blizzard's favoring them throughout this whole expansion because they didn't get much love in BFA. Now, survival hunters, hear me out. I've seen your tier bonus, I've seen your double legendaries, I've seen your best covenant for you guys moving forward. I've seen it, I've watched survival hunters guides, and I've read stuff online, but it's incredibly hard to this day for a melee to be number one in DPS when it comes to rating. It just takes one mechanic. It just takes one mechanic that you have to do to be pulled away from the boss and your number starts dipping. Your number just starts dipping or just stay stagnant. It's just one of the two. Then the other range classes between BM and marksman have a huge advantage on you on that. I remember when survival was a range spec. I remember those days. That's how long I've been playing this goddamn game. But in 9.2, it's just incredible. You have to have a perfect pool where you have a great parse, no mechanics on you, and you get to just damage the boss. And it's just AoE cleave. That is your three perfect scenarios right there. If it ain't those three put together, then it's just done. It's just done. It's incredibly hard, man. Because it's still, even though Blizzard's preached about that it's gonna be more balance between melee and range and stuff like that, melee's still getting hold on some mechanics. You still have to do. There's a boss where you have to stack up, play some shit together, and then move out the way. Like literally move out of it. and there's another boss where you literally have to dance around this. Boss from Castle Nathria. You literally you get hoed. Like you get hoed on some so much mechanics. It just takes one melee mechanic to get hoed, and it's if it's survival, then you know how that shit goes. Melee goes through this every time. It's just incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard, man. I'm telling you. You need to have a good slash perfect pool. And with range with BM and marksman, they don't have to worry about that stuff. And you also have to worry about between all hunter specs, honestly, is the durability. If you get hit with a mechanic and you're damn near close to death and you're trying to avoid some shit, then you gotta be cautious. You have to be cautious. You have to be cautious. That goes the same for BM and marksman as well. I'm just not just saying it for a survival's case. Like there's a boss that I read of that if you get hit, if melee get hit by this blue shit, then your haste is done. You're pretty much hitting the boss like you're with a weight vest. Like you're just swinging slowly. Your haste goes down dramatically for a certain amount of time, and it just takes that. It just takes that mechanic just to see your numbers disappear. Range doesn't have to worry about stuff like that, and that's what I mean. Blizzard doesn't has not balanced the shit out. Come on now, but at the end of the day, I think marksman. I predict marksman is going to be the best in 9.2, unless barring any buffs and changes. This is being recorded February 26th. There have not been no blue posts with a buff or any changes in that matter. As of today, I think marksman hunters will be the best moving forward in 9.2. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm more than open to hear what you guys got to say, but thanks for you guys watching. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, and you guys take it easy.